తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వం నిర్వహిస్తున్నటువంటి ఉపాధ్యాయ అర్హత పరీక్షకు అనగా టీచర్ ఎలిజిబిలిటీ టెస్ట్ టెట్నకు ప్రత్యేకంగా TSTET నిర్వహిస్తున్నటువంటి ఈ శిక్షణా తరగతులకు మీ అందరికీ స్వాగతం. ఈ శిక్షణా తరగతుల్లో భాగంగా గణిత శాస్త్రంలో మనం ఈరోజు డేటా అప్లికేషన్స్ అనేటువంటి కాన్సెప్ట్ని గురించి చర్చించుకోబోతున్నాం. దీన్ని మనం డేటా హ్యాండ్లింగ్ అని కూడా అంటాం, డేటా ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ అని కూడా అంటాం. ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్లో మనకు రా డేటా, గ్రూప్డ్ డేటా, అన్గ్రూప్డ్ డేటా, సెంట్రల్ టెండెన్సీస్, రేంజ్, ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ కర్వ్స్, టాలీ మార్క్స్, ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ పాలిగాన్స్, బార్ డయాగ్రామ్స్, పై డయాగ్రామ్స్ మున్నగు అంశాలను గురించి మనం నేర్చుకుంటాం. వీటిపైన కూడా మనకు 4 లేదా 5 ప్రశ్నలు వచ్చే అవకాశం ఎక్కువగా ఉంది. అందుచే చాలా సులభమైనటువంటి కాన్సెప్ట్ని మీరు శ్రద్ధగా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే మీకు మ్యాక్సిమం మార్క్స్ వచ్చేటువంటి అవకాశం ఉంది. ఓకే, సో మనం ఈ డేటా అప్లికేషన్స్ అనేటువంటిది ఇట్స్ ఎ కలెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ డేటా, సమాచార సేకరణ. ఇలా సేకరించిన సమాచారాన్ని ఒక చోటకు చేర్చి అంటే ఒక వద్ద రాస్తే దానికి ఏ విధమైనటువంటి ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ కానీ క్లాసిఫికేషన్ కానీ జరగకపోతే ఆ డేటాని మనం రా డేటా అంటారు. సింపుల్గా అన్గ్రూప్డ్ డేటా అంటారు. తెలుగులో అవర్గీకృత దత్తాంశము అని అంటారు. సో మనకు డేటా అనేటువంటి అంశాన్ని తీసుకుంటే డేటా, ఈ డేటాని మనం 2 రకాలుగా వర్గీకరణ చేసాం. ఒకటి అన్గ్రూప్డ్ డేటా, రెండోది గ్రూప్డ్ డేటా. ఓకే, సో ఇలా వర్గీకృతము అవిగృతమైనటువంటి దాన్ని చేసుకున్నాం. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు మనం ఈ అన్గ్రూప్డ్ డేటా గురించి ముందుగా డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. ఒక తరగతిలోని విద్యార్థుల యొక్క మార్కులు, లేదా అంటే మన ఈ జనాభా గణన జరుగుతుంది అనుకోండి, ఏ రాష్ట్రానికి జనసాంద్రత ఎలా ఉంది, ఏ రాష్ట్రంలో ఎక్కువ జనాభా ఉంది, వాటి మధ్య సారూప్యతలు ఏంటి, ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం సేకరణ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం కదా. ఈ సేకరణ చేసేటప్పుడు మనం తీసుకునేటువంటి దాంట్లో ఇందులో రేంజ్ అనేటువంటి మొట్టమొదటి పదాన్ని వాడతాం. రేంజ్, తెలుగులో వ్యాప్తి అంటారు. రేంజ్ అంటే మ్యాక్సిమం వాల్యూ మైనస్ మినిమం వాల్యూ. మ్యాక్సిమం వాల్యూ మైనస్ మినిమం వాల్యూ. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనము ఏదైనా ఒక ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక వాషింగ్ మిషన్ కాస్ట్ తీసుకోనుకోండి. ద మ్యాక్సిమం వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ వాషింగ్ మిషన్ ఈజ్ 40,000 అనుకుందాం, అండ్ మినిమం వాల్యూ ఈజ్ 7,000 అనుకుందాం. ద రేంజ్ ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, 40,000 మైనస్ 7,000 33,000 అనేటువంటిది రేంజ్ అవుతుంది. సాధారణంగా మనకు మార్కెట్లో అనేకమైన వస్తువులు దొరుకుతూ ఉంటాయి. ఏ రేంజ్లో దొరుకుతున్నాయి అనేటువంటి ఒక ప్రశ్న జనరల్గా మనకు వ్యక్తమవుతూ ఉంటుంది. మనం ఆ సేల్స్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ వద్దకు వెళ్ళామనుకోండి, వాడు చెప్పినటువంటి వాల్యూ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఏ రేంజ్లో దొరుకుతుంది. మీకు వాషింగ్ మిషన్స్ అనేటువంటివి 7,000 నుండి 40,000 వరకు దొరుకుతాయి సార్ అంటాడు. ఇక్కడ మ్యాక్సిమం ఎంత 40,000, మినిమం ఎంత 7,000, 40,000 మైనస్ 7,000 33,000, అది రేంజ్ అవుతుంది. దీన్ని రేంజ్ అని అంటాం. ఓకే, సో మనం ఇక్కడ తీసుకునేటప్పుడు ఈ కేంద్ర స్థాన విలువలు అనేటువంటివి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. మనం 3 రకాలంటే కేంద్ర స్థాన విలువల్ని ఈ సెకండరీ లెవెల్లో జనరల్గా నేర్చుకుంటాం. అవి మీన్, మీడియన్, మోడ్. మీన్ అంటే తెలుగులో సగటు అంటారు, మీడియన్ అంటే మధ్యగతం అంటారు, మోడ్ అంటే బాహుళకము అన్నట్టు అంటారు. మీన్ వాల్యూ అంటే ఏంటి అన్నట్టు, సగటు లేదా సరాసరి అంటే ఏంటి అంటుంటారు. మీన్ సింప్లీ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్, సమ్ ఆఫ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ by number of observations. తెలుగులో రాసుల మొత్తము బై రాసుల సంఖ్య అంటారు. దీనిలో సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే దీన్ని సిగ్మా నొటేషన్లో సిగ్మా xi బై n అనేది సూచిస్తారు. x1 ప్లస్ x2 ప్లస్ x3 అండ్ సో ఆన్ xn బై nని మనము మీన్గా చెప్పడం జరుగుతుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది ఎగ్జామ్లో దీనిపైన క్వశ్చన్ ఎలా వస్తుంది అంటే what is the mean of first 100 natural numbers? Mean of first 100 natural numbers అని అడుగుతారు. అంటే మనకి ఏంటి దీనికి ఇంతకుముందు చెప్పాను కదా, మీన్ అంటే ఇది సిగ్మా 100 బై 100 అనమాట. సిగ్మా 100 మీకు ఆల్రెడీ ఫార్ములా తెలుసు. సిగ్మా n ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు n ఆఫ్ n ప్లస్ 1/2 ఫార్ములా. అంటే 100 ఆఫ్ 100 ప్లస్ 1 బై 2. ఇట్స్ 50 ఆఫ్ 101 అంటే 5050. సో 5050 by 100. 0 0 get cancel is 50.5. This is the mean of first 100 natural numbers అని అడుగుతారు. సో ఇది చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి, అర్థమైందా? సో మీన్ అని దానిపైన మీకు ఎగ్జామినేషన్లో ఈ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ద మీన్ వెయిట్ ఏంటి లేదా మీన్ లెంత్ ఎంత ఇటువంటి అడుగుతారు. మీన్ ఈజ్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ బై నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్. సింపుల్గా దాన్ని మీన్ అంటే దిస్ ఈజ్ మెంట్ ఫర్ అన్ అన్గ్రూప్డ్ డేటా. అవర్గీకృత దత్తాంశానికి ఉన్న ఫార్ములా. క్లియర్? ఓకే. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం మీన్ షిఫ్ట్ అవుతున్నాం. మీన్ నుంచి నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చినటువంటిది మీడియన్. సో మీడియన్ అనేటువంటి తీసుకున్నాం, ఇచ్చినటువంటి దత్తాంశం తీసుకున్నాం. సో ఇఫ్ ఫర్ ద గివెన్ డేటా వెన్ యూ అరేంజ్ ద వాల్యూస్ either in ascending order and descending order, so the middle most value will be considered as the median. That's a very very important. For example, if you consider as okay 5 15 7 8 20 14 16 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, these are values are given. So we have to arrange. This is in either ascending order, descending order. Take it as ascending order. So first 5, next 7, next 8, next 14, next 15, next 16 and next 20. Okay. So we have this is 3 and this one is 3. So 14 is the middle most value. This 14 will be considered as median. The middle most value of the data when they arranged either in ascending order descending order, that will be considered the median of the data. For example, meeku doubt vastundi. So we have to include one more value. We have to include one more value. So it is given as okay. So 5 same value this 15 7 8 20 14 16 22 is given. Okay. So when you arrange the same one, that is 5 7 8 14 15 16 20 22. So here when you consider these 3 and these 3, so the middle most values are 2 here 14 and 15. So you have to take the average of it. 14 plus 15 by 2 means this is 29 by 2 nothing but it is a 14.5. So 14.5 is the median of the data. So is it clear? So okay. So simply when there are n values, n observations, n by 2 plus 1 is the middle most value, is the middle most value. That is a n plus 1 by 2. Here how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So n plus 1 by 2, simply it is n plus 1 by 2 value will be the middle most value. Okay, here how many observations are there? 7. So 7 plus 1 by 2, which is 8 by 2, 4. fourth value will be the middlemost value, that will be considered as the median. Is it clear? Okay. In this manner, so we can say the median. If it is n is an even number, then n by 2 and n by 2 plus 1 will be the middle value. So, here 8 values are there, 8 by 2 means here 4 and 4 plus 1 5. So, fourth and fifth values will be the middlemost value, that will be considered as the median. Okay. Is it clear? That is the median. Okay. Now, coming to the next one is mode. The mode of the data. So, what is the mode here? So, generally we are using some values in the data, some values will comes more frequently, means the value which has a maximum frequency, which occurs more number of times, that observation, that value is considered as a mode of the data. Clear? So, for example, if I am giving 2, 6, 2, 5, 2, 8, 7, 2, 2, 4, 2. This is the data here. So, here 2 comes here, when you observe it, here we have 2, one more 2, here also 2, here to 2, here to 2. Means here nearly 2 comes 6 times. So, simply, so 2 will be considered as the mode of the data, 2 is the mode. Okay. The very important thing is mode may be exist, may not be exist. So, if you for example consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is the mode of this data? There is no mode, because all are with the same frequency, correct. So, sometimes mode may be exist, may not be exist. This is a very important, clear. Sometimes we have 2 modes, so that is when there 2 modes are exist, we call the bimodal data, clear. So, that is a mode, means which has more frequency, which value comes more frequently, that value will be considered the mode. This is a very important. So, mean is sum of observation by the number of observations. Median means when you arrange the data either in ascending order and descending order. So, the middlemost value will be considered as the median, and the value observation which has more frequency will be considered as the mode, clear. The mode may be exist and not be exist, clear. Okay. Now, coming to the next one. So, when you discuss about the ungrouped data, so we have range, we have frequency, we have mean, median and mode. Now, coming to the grouped data. So, when you group it, generally for making grouped data, we will use the frequency distribution table, Paunuppunya Vibhajana Patikalam. In this, generally we will use the first one, we will use the class intervals, and the next tally marks, and next frequency. So, class intervals means 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 and 30 to 40 or 40 to 50. So, when you consider the marks of one examination. So, 0 to 10, so here there are only 4 candidates are there, we will write 4, this is frequency is 4. When 10 to 20, there are 6 students are there, the 5 will be right like, and this 6, so there is 6, and 30, there 20 to 30, there will be 10 students are there, like 10, and 10 to 40, there will be 5 students are there. Okay, and 40 to 50, there is a 5 more, so it is 5. So, totally if there example there are 30 students, say this is 20, there are 30 students. So, this is a marks your categorization. So, this is class interval 0 to 10, this is a we called 0 to 10, 10 to 10, 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 0 and 10. So, this lower 0 will be considered as a lower limit and 10 will be considered upper limit, lower limit and upper limit here. So, this is 0 to 10 is called a class interval, at 10 to 20 at the class interval. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, these are called here the this lower limit, upper limit and this lower limit both are same. So, this kind of class intervals are called as continuous class intervals. Okay. So, sometimes we will use the boundary words also, means here when you consider 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, like if you write as this is a discontinuous class intervals here. So, if you want to equalize this class intervals, we will make it into adding 0.5 and subtracting, means here 0.5 to 10.5, 10.5 to 20.5, 20.5 to 30.5. So, just we converted discontinuous class intervals into continuous class. Here the very important thing is the difference between the upper limit and lower limit, it will be considered as size of the class, length of the class. Okay, size of the class or the length of, means upper limit minus lower limit. This is a very important. Okay. Now, coming to the next one is the frequency, means so how many observations, how many values comes under the particular class will be considered as the frequency of the concerned class. Okay. So, here there are we can represent the data in so many forms. We can represent the data in so many forms. That is, the first one is simply we call it as bar diagrams. తెలుగులో వీటిని దిమ్మ చిత్రాలు, కమ్మి చిత్రాలు అని కూడా అంటారు. సెకండ్ వన్ పై డయాగ్రామ్స్. దట్ ఈస్ వృత్త చిత్రాలు. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ కర్వ్స్. పౌనఃపున్య వక్రాలు. frequency polygon, okay, and cumulative frequency curves. Cumulative frequency curves. Simply we call it as 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 curves. So, these are the different kinds of representation of data in pictorial form. Bar diagrams, pie diagrams, frequency curves, frequency polygons, cumulative frequency curves, which are very familiar as a 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 curves. So, we will discuss each and every one and what are the important, what kind of questions will come on this area. So, we will discuss one by one. Now, first one is bar diagram. Okay. So, when you consider this bar diagram and you consider this is so, this is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. This one is 2 and this is 4, this is 6 and this one is 8 and this is 10 and this is okay. So, in the x axis we will, so this one will represent as a class interval on x axis and the frequency will be represented on y axis. Here these are the rectangle, generally the data is in rectangles. So, in bar diagrams we have the rectangles and the very important thing is the breadth of each rectangle is same. The breadth of the rectangle represent the size of the class. This is the most important bit. The breadth of a rectangle in a bar diagram represents the size of the class and they are same. And the length of the rectangle represent the corresponding frequency of the class, This is a variable, it varies. Clear? ఈ దిమ్మ చిత్రాలు లేదా కమ్మి చిత్రాల్లో ఆ దీర్ఘచతురస్రాల యొక్క వెడల్పులు తరగతి పొడవుని, తరగతి యొక్క సైజుని తెలియజేస్తాయి. అలాగే ఈ కమ్మి దీర్ఘ చిత్రాల యొక్క దిమ్మ చిత్రాల యొక్క లోని దీర్ఘచతురస్రాల యొక్క పొడవులు వాటి యొక్క పౌనఃపున్యాన్ని తెలియజేస్తాయి. దిస్ ఇస్ అ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. On x-axis we have the class intervals, on y-axis we will represent the frequency. This is called a bar diagram. So, what is the geometrical figures you can observe on bar diagrams means simply rectangles. That's okay, clear. Okay, now coming to the next is the second one is pie diagrams. So, when you consider the pie diagram, this is one pie diagram here, like some pie diagrams is represent. So, for example, it is a budget, for example, budget of a family represent. This one is okay, savings represents like this one is their fee, school fee or something else, and okay, expenditure to purchase the commodities. Okay, and this one is something that is a cloths and petrol, and this is something what you call it as okay, general expenditure. So, means here the sectors represent the various parts based on sector. So, we can observe it which area covers some maximum things here. So, if the savings is more here, so that person is maintaining a appropriate a budget, family budget here, clear. If expenditure is more than so we can say expensive, more expensive for it, am I correct? So, in this manner you can calculate the corresponding data. That is a very important. Okay. So, here this sector angle plays a vital role. Sector angle applies a vital role. If the sector angle is more, means here so the area of the sector is more, obviously it occupies where. In the pie diagrams you have to find the sectors. In bar diagrams you have to find rectangles. In pie diagrams you are going to find sectors. That is a very important, clear. Okay. Now, coming to the next one is the frequency curve. So, frequency curve is very important. So, when the given data, if you given for example a table, when you consider a frequency table, that is as a class interval and frequency, 0 to 10 is 2, 10 to 20 is 4, 20 to 30 is 6, and 30 to 40 is 5, and 40 to 50 is 2. Like one frequency table is given, you have to draw the frequency curve for it. So, now you have to same the class interval on x axis and the frequency is on y axis. So, as to say this is 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 for example. So, first one 0 to 10 is 2. So, it is 2 here, and 10 to 20 4, and 20 to 30 is 6 for example, it is 6, and 40 to 50. So, when you join all these points you will get a frequency curve. So, we can observe the frequency according to the frequency curve. So, we can identify the progress of the company or progress of the student. All these things will be represented can be in the frequency curve. So, this is a frequency curve. So, in this manner you can draw the frequency curve, very simple manner. Already this one is using in other areas also, this area to represent graphical representation of a polynomial also. Nothing, it seems to be like a frequency curve, not exactly frequency curve, seems to be like a frequency curve, that is a frequency curve. Okay. So, we have to add all the points with a smooth free handed curve. So, that is the reason we call it as a frequency curve. Okay. So, coming to the next one is when you join the points with the line segments, when you join the points with the line segments, then that graph generated will be called a frequency polygon. Clear? The frequency polygon. That is the difference between a frequency curve and frequency polygon. Clear? When you join all the points with a smooth free-handed curve is called frequency curve. When you join with all these points with the line segments, it is called frequency polygon. That is the difference between frequency polygon and frequency curve. Okay. Now, come to the next one is a cumulative frequency. So, cumulative frequency is a very important. So, cumulative frequency is for example, how we are going to find the cumulative frequency. Take 0 to 10, I am taking the class interval 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and 50 to 60. The class interval of frequency, for example, 3, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3. Cumulative frequency. You have to add the values one by one. 3 first 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 1 is 11, 11 plus 2 is 13 and 13 plus 3 is 16. So, these are the cumulative frequency. So, here we are using two kinds of cumulative frequencies. One is called LCF and the other one is called GCF. LCF and GCF. LCF means less than cumulative frequency and other one is called greater than cumulative frequency, less than frequency curve and greater than cumulative. So, for this is one is simply is LCF. If you want to find a GCF here, so we will start like here. So, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13 and 13 plus 3 is 16. So, like you can calculate less than cumulative frequency curves and greater than cumulative frequency curves. Generally, these are used to draw the 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 curves, and the advantage of the 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 curves is to find the median of the data. That is a very important. Clear? So, like we will represent the data into various forms. One is bar diagrams, which is in the form of rectangles. Another one is the simply call it as a pie diagrams, which is in the form of sectors. Frequency polygon, frequency curve, cumulative frequency. Like we can say we can represent this data into various forms. Okay. Now, come to the last area of this data applications data. So, this is a very important. So, if you want to find the value or the central tendency of various group of data, simply we are using the formulas, simple formulas, that is the first one. So, we will use for that is a median for a group of data. Median is equal to L plus n by 2 minus m or CF. This is, you can say CF simply. You can say simply CF by F into C. And this is very important. This L is said to be length or size of the median class, and n by 2 means n is sum of frequencies and CF is the cumulative frequency of the median class and F is the frequency of the median class and C is the size of the class. This is the formula for median. Then maybe you know how we are going to find this also. I will give the idea for it simply. So, it is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. Okay. This is a class interval and this is a frequency, for example, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. So, you have to find the cumulative frequency, very important here. 2 plus 3, 5, 10, 10 plus 4, 14, 14 plus 3, 17, 17, say for example 3, 20. Okay, so the here sigma f is said to be n, and you have to find n by 2, that is 10. So, you have to write this cumulative frequency here. This is 2, 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 5 10, 10 plus 4 14, 14 plus 17, 7 plus 3 20. So, 10 comes here. So, simply we will consider this one as the median class. This 20 will be considered as the length, and this considered a frequency as the f, and this will be the cumulative frequency. The previous class will be considered as Cf, and 30 minus 20 will be considered as C. In this manner, you can calculate the median class. So, for me, so very important thing is, if you want to calculate the mean of a group data, middle values are important. So, middle values are important. So, if you want to find the median of a group data, cumulative frequency is required, but if you want to find the mode of a group data, no need of any other. So, cumulative class interval and frequency is enough. This is, you have to understand this one to for finding mean, median, mode for a group data. For a group data, if you want to find the mean, middle values are required. If you want to find median for the group data, the cumulative frequency is required. If you want to find a mode, so what is the middle value here? Say simply middle value of the class means of a class interval 10, 20, middle value is 10 plus 20 by 2, 30 by 2, which will be considered as 10, 15, correct? 30 by 2, which is equal to 15. 15 is the mid value of a class interval 10 and 20, clear? So, in this manner you can calculate the clear. This is a very important. So, once again in the data application, you have to learn about various kinds of data, that is grouped data, ungrouped data, and range is the difference between maximum value and minimum value, that will be considered as a range. And we have two kinds of class intervals, that is called continuous class intervals and discontinuous class intervals. And for ungrouped data, we have mean, median, mode. Mean is sum of observations by the number of observations, correct? Okay. So, here they will ask among mean, median, mode, which is the more significant central tendency, central tendency value, most significant central tendency value. You can say as mean is a more significant value among mean, median and mode. What is the reason behind it? So, the reason is, so as one value changes, one observation changes in the data, the mean may vary, because what is mean? Sum of observation by the number of observations. Okay. So, when one value increases or decreases, the total value increases or decreases, finally the mean is changed. But when one value increases or decreases, the median may not be changed, mode may not be changed, clear. So, among mean, median, mode, mean is a more significant than the other, more accurate than the other central tendency. This is a very important. And in bar diagrams, the width of the rectangle represents the size of the class, and the length of the rectangle represents the frequency, corresponding frequency. We have rectangles in bar diagrams, we have sectors in pie diagrams, correct? Okay. So, all these are the about data applications. I hope you understand all the things, and you have to, this is a very simple concept. So, data will be given. So, from the data you have to find the answers. So, I hope each and everyone will perform well, even though you are a non-mathematics background participant also, you can perform well. So, definitely everyone will answer all the questions with the correct manner. So, best of luck. Thank you.